Hartnell, the missing stories I most want. Hello and welcome to another video. Well, it's missing episodes year. We're all sat here still celebrating the return of the 2 episodes of Dalek's master plan and keeping our fingers crossed that Film is Fabulous have more. Please give us some Troughton. Please give us some Troughton. And lots of people have, as usual, it's always a popular topic, but made even more popular by recent events, obviously. What missing episodes/stories would we most want? Now, to do my version, I thought I'd separate it into 2, otherwise I'd probably just list a whole bunch of Troughton episodes, because I want more Troughton. I think he's woefully underrepresented, and a lot of the animations don't do him justice, so more Troughton. But this time around, I'm looking at the Hartnell era, and which episodes or completely missing stories I would most want, and I'm going to rank them in order from least interested to most desired. Now, I would have to be honest, my least interested missing episodes in 11, I believe, yeah, in 11th place, Anything or Everything from the Celestial Toymaker. I have to be honest, I don't think the Celestial Toymaker is a good story. The one remaining episode is pretty weak, and that's the final episode. And when the final episode is pretty weak, you can pretty much guarantee the rest of it has. Plus, I have heard the audio on a. I couldn't sit through the recent animation; it was absolutely bloody god awful. But there was a crude fan animation a few years ago that has now disappeared into the ether. It was crude, but it was still less annoying than the recent animation. And I did manage to sit through it, and I did not like it at all. I think it's a terrible story. I can live without it. Let's put it that way. Now, again, a lot of these are not necessarily based on the quality of the story. This one kind of is, but that's not necessarily the case for the most of them. Okay, 10. The 2 missing episodes of The Reign of Terror. Again, this is nothing against the story. I actually quite like The Reign of Terror. It's one of my favourites from Season 1. I just feel it's kind of unnecessary. It's a 6-parter. We've got 4 episodes of it, which is, it's more than enough to kind of give you what the story feels like and is. And plus, it's been animated, and I like the animation that we've got for The Reign of Terror. It's one of the better ones, in my opinion. It's certainly more atmospheric and authentic than the god-awful Scooby-Doo crap we get nowadays. So again, I like The Reign of Terror. This has nothing to do with the quality of the story, but I could not help but feel some distinctly underwhelmed if Film is Fabulous announced 2 more missing episodes, and it's from The Reign of Terror. It'd be like, yeah, okay. 9. The 10th Planet, Episode 4. This might be a controversial one, but again, we have 3/4 of the story. I have to be honest, I don't think it's a particularly good story. It's my least favourite of the 60s Cybermen stories. And I know it's an important one, but, we have the regeneration. We do have the regeneration. It's just not high on my list of priorities, I'm sorry to say. 8. Mission to the Unknown. Simply because it is just a one-off. I mean, I suppose you could count this part as DMP, even though it technically isn't, but it's a prequel, blah, blah, blah. And I do think Ian Levine's animation is pretty good, and I don't know why we haven't got that. Well, I do know why, because, the BBC would rather do their own crappy version of it. And it's a shame their animation is not more widely seen, especially because, again, it's up there with the quality of some of the early ones. I have my own copy stashed away, and I always watch it when I watch the extant DMP episodes. So again, nice to have, but it's not really high on my priority list. 7. Now this is where it starts getting tougher. Oh wait, I fucked this up completely. There's actually 12, isn't there? Shit. Okay, 8. Just pretend that bit didn't happen. 8. I've missed it. I've forgotten the Smugglers. 8. This is really difficult. 8, I would have to say the rest of Dalek's master plan. I know that's one's going to get me in trouble. And again, it's not about the quality of the story. I know the recovered episodes were very good. And it's not even that we've got enough of it. I mean, we obviously haven't. We've only got 5 out of 12. 5 out of 11 if you discount Feast of Stephen. Still 5 out of 12 if you include Mission to the Unknown. If we could get the rest of the story, the whole it and complete it, maybe. But again, there's other stories I more want to see stuff from, including stuff we haven't got anything from. So like another episode of DMP, especially with like episode 8 or 9 or something, it'd just be a bit, yeah, all right, but couldn't we have had something else, you know? 7. The Crusade. Now, I think The Crusade is very good. What we have of it, 50% of the story is very good. But 50% isn't really enough. I mean, maybe if they did a decent animation, by which I mean something like the moon base, because I think the moon base, even though that's 50% missing, I don't think of it as being 50% missing, because we have a really excellent, authentic, atmospheric animation. Problem is, they wouldn't do that for the Crusade. If they did it at all, it would be Captain Pugwash, and they'd probably do the whole bloody thing for no fucking reason. And it would complete it. But we do have 50% of it, and again, there are other stories I'm more interested that we don't really have anything of. 7. I think this is 7. I think this numbering system is completely fucked by now. I don't know. Well, what number are we on? I've really screwed this up. 1, 2, and I've even written down as well. That God knows. I forget the numbering. Next. This is really tough. Next, I would say the Massacre. I really want to get something from the Massacre because we don't have any of it. It's not as high as some others that we don't have anything of for various reasons. But I would still still love to get something, anything from the Massacre. Obviously, if we could get the whole thing, big thumbs up. But I'd love to get even 1 or 2 episodes from it because we don't have anything. And that's really annoying. Next, Galaxy 4. I'd love another episode or 2, if not all 3 missing ones from Galaxy 4. I think it's an underrated story. Again, we've had an animation, but it's not very good, and it really doesn't fit with the extant episode, and I like the extant episode a lot more than I like the animation. So I'd love to see more of Galaxy 4. I think it's an underrated little story, and I think it would be really nice if we could get it finished, really. And I love Vicky, and we want more of her. So I really think it's a shame we didn't get more Stephen and Vicky stories too. So yeah, Galaxy 4. After that, the Mythmakers. Again, it's completely missing. It's Vicky's last story. I love Vicky. Again, anything from the Mythmakers would be pretty darn magical. Either 1, 2... Obviously, we'd all prefer the full thing, but even just to see an episode of it, like particularly 1 or 4, where Vicky actually leaves, would be pretty damn cool. Now then, we are down to the last 3, I think. Okay, so 3, The Savages. Now, this might seem a bit of an odd one to some. Again, I hated the recent animation. I could not sit through it. But I have a special place in my heart for The Savages because, as I've told this story many times, it was the novelization of this given to me as a Christmas present by my brother in 1986 that basically turned me into a Doctor Who fan. So I'm very fond of it. And again, as with what was it? Celestial Toymaker, there was a crude fan animation of this on a few years ago that's disappeared again. And even though the animation was fairly crude, I thought it came across as being a very atmospheric story and very compelling. Far more so than the recent animation. And I'd love to see any of it, any or all of it. Now then, top 2. I don't think I'm missing anything. I'm looking at my list. No, I'm not missing anything. 2, I think, would, oddly enough, I think The Smugglers. Simply because A, it's season 4. B, it's Ben and Polly, who we have so little of. It's Hartnell's penultimate story. And apparently it includes lots of lovely location filming. And we don't have anything of it, again. So I would love to get even a bit from The Smugglers. Obviously, again, the whole thing preferable, but even 1 or 2 episodes from The Smugglers would be wonderful, and I'd love to see it. And of course, top choice, probably not a surprise, Marco Polo, because I think this is again, there was a fan animation of this. It's from the same person who did the other 2 I've talked about. I think his name was Who Recons, and again, they were fairly crude. But the story came across incredibly well, and it came across as incredibly compelling. I have little faith in the official animations, if we ever get any more, to generate the correct kind of atmosphere for Marco Polo. So I would love to see again anything, any or all, obviously preferably all, but even a few episodes just to get really a real feel for it. Marco Polo is my top choice for the next recovery of missing episodes from the Hartnell era, at least. Come on, film is fabulous. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, despite my complete lack of ability to count. Hey, I forgot The Smugglers, shoot me. Ironic, considering how high it came. I'll talk to you again soon. Comment.